Good evening. How y'all doing today? This is Minister Peyton Moore, 66 Books of Truth Ministries, coming to you today with a special edition of Prayer and Bible Study. I hope everyone had a beautiful week and a prosperous week, and I just want y'all to stay hydrated and don't get dehydrated. Drink plenty of water. Stay in the air conditioning as much as you can. It's just a lot of things that have been going through my mind, through the week as I've been ministering and teaching Bible study and just observing and watching and reading and studying and seeing what's going on in my community and around my community and things that's going on in other parts of the United States and in other cities and across the world. But what I want to concentrate on is this word called depression. And I'm going to take it at an angle because I'm worried about the depression that our young people are going through. As I was growing up, I'm 51. As I was growing up, and before then, and probably not everybody, but the majority, children were children. Children act as a child. They played as a child. They thought as a child. They played with toys. At least I did. I went outside. I had friends. We played baseball, football. We played games. We just created things. We built go-karts. We created our own style of bikes. We painted them. We done lights and reflectors. And we just had fun as children. I don't remember all this depression and suicidal thoughts, especially children between the ages of 8 and 14. It's kind of scary. And it's a lot of children today, and I know it's a lot of things going on with this bullying and a lot of things that's going on that other children bully. And when I was going to school, bullying was like you said talked about somebody, mama, they daddy, and you just kind of had your little fight and squashed it, and next couple of days or next couple of weeks you was friends again. Or maybe you wasn't. We didn't have all this coming back, retaliate, killing and stabbings and shooting and kids going into schools just, But Satan has his way of bypassing fathers by moving them out the way, getting them out the family. He has a way of bypassing the weaker vessel, which is the mother. He finds his way to the weaker vessel, which is the children. And this is scary in some matters. The children's minds are more mature than the parents. So today I'm going to be talking to the children and young people and young adults. I'm going to be talking to the parents because the root of the problem starts with you. And the church can turn a blind eye to it all they want to. As a minister, I'm not. I'm just going to dig into it. We need to start having more family service. We need to start having more family meetings at churches. We need to start having more youth programs in the church. Because sometimes the young people feel that it's all about the adults. They don't care nothing about us in the church. I'm so glad that I go to Lakewood where they really concentrate on the youth and the young children. From 0 to 18, they concentrate on that. They have a lot of activities. They don't leave them out. And when I go to Sunday night worship service, I just enjoy being around the young people because I see how many young people is actually coming to God. So today, I'm just going to pray for my young people, and I'm going to pray for the parents or the parent. Because there are a lot of children being born into the world by some young women and men, young men. And that's kind of scary. Some of us is not that far away from the age of our children in a lot of ways. I mean, sometimes it was a mistake. Some young ladies got raped. Uh, some did it casually. They was in relationships probably with an older young man. She was probably 12 or 13, and he was probably 19 or 20, some 25, or older guy, and she got pregnant. And then he fled the country and got up out the way because he said that wasn't his baby, and she stuck. And now she's having to deal with her parents, her parent, and hopefully that the parent is head is steady, that this is not what's going on in the household. You know, hope it wasn't raped by a relative or nothing, but our young people are receiving and having to inherit and deal with a lot of burdens that they shouldn't be dealing with. And the only person or the people that I can blame is the parents, due to the lack of parenting. And I'm not saying that every parent is like this. We have some good parents. I was one. And still is. And hopefully I'm still classified as a good parent and a grandfather. But then we have some parents that you just as immature as the child. Your child is 13. Mom may be about 32, 33, maybe 34, 35, you know, and dad is probably around that age. So I'm a little bit younger. It's scary. I'm not trying to throw blame or condemn anyone, but it's scary. When I see a child that's having to carry the burdens that the parents should be taking. When I see a child having, at the age of 11, 12, and 13, sometimes a little younger, have to go out in the street and sell drugs and sell their bodies to make sure that they can bring milk in the house for their little baby brother or sister, or get some Pampers, or keep the light bill on. Some of them make enough money out in the street to pay the rent, while mama or daddy, or mama and daddy, or is both strung out. They in this abusive relationship of drug use, alcohol abuse, and abusing each other, and sometimes abusing the kid. So the only way out for that kid is to go out in the street and be around other negativity. I'm going to speak up for the children today. And some of y'all need to open up your eyes. The church need to open up their eyes and see what's going on. Your church doors are just not open for somebody to come in and give tithes and offering. You shut your eyes to everything else to give a hot message, and and that's it. No, I don't have a church. And I'm waiting on some pastor, somebody to say, well, you don't understand and you don't know what you're talking about. I don't have to. I'm from the outside looking in. Our young people need you. It's not just about adult service, it's about youth service too. You need to open up your doors and have more youth service. I'm a DJ. I DJ Christian music. You want me to come to your church and DJ a Sunday night and have a youth night? I'll do it. I'll DJ it and give the message. I'm getting ready to plan some things anyway for the youth in the community. In the community. They ain't got to come out. I'm going to go within the 610 community. 3rd Ward, South Park, 5th Ward, Cashmere Garden, Trinity Garden, Sunnyside. You know where the areas are where these children are hurting and these children are suffering and these children are having to get into negativity, things like it's gang violence and stealing and robbing and selling their bodies and doing drugs and selling drugs in order to survive. That should not be a child's responsibility. That's a parent responsibility. Parents are incarcerated, mom and dad incarcerated, mom and dad on drugs. Hey, but I'm going to just give you the real scenario here. There are some good parents out here, but children have made choices at a certain age to do what they want to do. And the parent is struggling trying to keep them out of trouble. Some of the parents have lost their homes, their 401k, they have lost their retirement. Some of the grandparents, they have lost everything due to trying to keep a young adult out of trouble, or a teenager, or a cop killing them. I'm finna talk to you parents. You need to wake up and raise your children. And I'm not condemning and saying that you're not. I'm talking to those that are not. And quit living your life through your children. Just because you couldn't be a dancer or cheerleader or whatever, whatever efforts you didn't do to go through, don't force that on your children. Just because you didn't make it in NFL or college football or NBA or whatever sport that you want to play, quit forcing that on your child. God have give that child its own talents. If they pick up that talent up and they go forth with it, that's great. If they do not want to do it, they just do not want to do it. They want to do something else. They may want to be a doctor. They may want to be a lawyer. They may want to be the next president of the United States. You can't make a child be who you want them to be. You can encourage them in the way as long as it's right. You don't teach a child to go to church because you go to church. You teach a child to go to church to worship God. If they have some differences and political reasons or political thoughts, you can't make them believe what you believe because they may see something a little different. You're a parent. You're supposed to teach your child at a certain age to be independently thinking on their own, but also within respect and have respect for their thoughts. One of the worst things you can do is say that I'm your friend. You're not your children's friend. You're their mother and you're their father. They can come to you and talk to you about situations, issues, and problems that they're having, but it's up to you to lead it off. As a father, you sit down with your son and you look him straight in the eye and you say, son, how you doing today? Put the cell phones down, put the tablets down, put the games down, shut it all down. Go out, have dinner, sit at home, have dinner at the round table. Fathers, son, how you doing today? How was school today? Is anything going on that I need to know about? How's the teacher today? I tell you what, I'm gonna come up to the school next week and I'm gonna come and visit. Mothers, sit with your daughters. Baby, how was, how's everything going? How was school? How's your friends? How's the girl that you had a problem with? Are you having a problem or a situation or issue at school that we need to know about? Is anybody in the neighborhood or community bothering you? Fathers actually saw the same thing because you got drug dealers and pimps trying to entice. Gang members trying to entice and influence. But sometimes the problem is daddy's tied up in the gang and drugs, and he's the pimp. So you're trying to teach your child how, to get involved. Or as the father would say, you're a man, you got a pole, you find many holes, put your pole in, and your son get AIDS. Or the mother's teaching her girl, go out and find you a man, take care of you, and this and that, and blah, blah. And just a teenager you're talking to. This is a child. Now you want to prostitute your 12-year-old, 13-year-old daughter out? Maybe that's what you did. Maybe that's what happened to you. And it probably just go back from generations to generations. I'm just being real today. I'm trying to find out why are so many of our young people so depressed and thinking about committing suicide and killing themselves under the age of 18. Why? I just heard a testimony of a girl named Isabella. I was listening to 91.7 Engine Radio, and she was at a camp, and I think before that camp, that young lady was thinking about suicide. I think she was only like 12 or 14 years old. She was thinking about killing herself. What kind of pressure is being put on a child to make them think that they want to kill themselves? Where are they getting this from? Abusive relationships that they see their parents going through, divorce. Instead of parents sitting down talking with their children, you can't wait till they 8, 9, and 10 to talk to them. You got to start at the ages of 3, 4, and 5 talking to them about a lot of things, because they're very smart, and they watch and they observe, and they have ears like elephant when you think they're not paying attention. So my question again is, why are our young people so depressed? A lot of them want to run away from home. I know as a teenager, as I was growing up, I thought I knew it all. I was ready to go. I turned 18, 19, my mama told me, if you can't go by these rules, you're going to have to get up out of here. I got up out of there. And as I say, parents, you can't be a friend to your child. You can only be a parent. You can either be a father or you can be a mother, and you sit down with your child with no distractions. You turn everything off and look them straight in the eye, hold their hand. Fathers, give your son a hug and kiss him on the forehead, a manly hug and a manly kiss on the forehead, and say, son, dad is here. What do you need? Fathers, do your daughters the same way. Talk to your daughters, hold their hand, give them a hug. You make sure that you show them what a man should do as a father, and how a father should make his daughter feel that you are here for her, that you're her security. Yes, she may marry off, you may give her away as a gift to someone, but you're still her father. She's your seed. And by any means necessary, as Malcolm X would say, by any means necessary, if anybody hurt, disturb her, or try to put her in a position that her life is in danger, or any position to where her heart is being broken to the point to where she's getting up under depression, I mean, you better step up. Because I'm sitting back, I'm watching, and I'm observing. Because you know where I'm speaking from? Because I'm a man. I've been through some things in life, and I've dealt with some things in life, and I put myself in positions that I shouldn't have as a man. Holler at your boy. Come talk to me. That's what John Gray say. Holler at your boy. Come talk to me. I'm giving this to you from a man's point of view. So as a parent, I'm going to ask you this again. Why are our children up under so much depression? It's because we're not taking the time to sit and talk with our children. We have a lot of distractions going on. We're too busy probably hanging out in bars and clubs and want to go to after hours, or maybe we tied up in our trying to get our businesses and companies going, and we're trying to get a lot of things going, and I'm not knocking that. But our children need time with their parents one-on-one. You cannot put the children on the back burner, because they will find someone else and something else to get involved with at a very early age. I'm going to read this scripture out the Bible. And I'm not targeting anyone, and I'm not condemning anyone. I'm just giving you the truth. And I'm not no type of psychologist. I'm just a man speaking with experience from the Word of God. Depression is a heavy burden and a very heavy feeling, especially on an adolescent, a young adult, a teenager, a child, and I'm speaking to those under 18. And I'm scared about those that's over 18 too, between the ages of 18 and 21. In the book of Psalms it says, in the book of Psalms 13:2, how long must I wrestle with my thoughts and every day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Why is a child thinking about wrestling with their thoughts? Why is a child thinking about having sorrow in their heart every day? Okay, yeah, okay. Some children going through rape. They're going through abuse. A lot of them. They say the foster homes is full. The adoption homes is full because parents either addicted to drugs, the parents are addicted to alcohol, these children have been in an abusive relationship, they try to give them to the grandmother, she's too old. I've been in a court one time where I seen an 80-something-year-old woman had to take custody of some 6-month-old twins because some parents are hooked on drugs and finna get ready to go to prison that have been abusing those children. An 86-year-old woman trying to take some 6-month-old twins? Come on. We got young people that's trying to support their mom or their father, and some trying to support both at the age of 13 and 14. They're out in the streets selling drugs, stealing, robbing, killing, if the parents don't have them doing that to support their habit. But you have some children that's trying to survive, take care of their little brother or sister, make sure their little brother or sister have Pampers, make sure their little brother or sister, some of them bring enough money to pay the rent. They're out there selling their body, selling drugs, doing things that a child shouldn't even supposed to be doing. A child should be out playing baseball, football, basketball, playing games. Little girls should be jump roping, playing hopscotch. No, you got them locked in the house playing a video game. A video game that's destroying their minds because you're not communicating with them. You're not talking to them because you're tied up into what you do. And I do understand that parents, that some parents have to have 2 and 3 jobs to survive because you may have a spouse or you may have the baby daddy or baby mama who ain't paying their child support and do what they need to do to help you with the child. They're not even in the child life. And you're having to work 2 and 3 jobs to make things happen. And you're having to sometimes let that child stay at home by themselves to take care of other little brothers and sisters, knowing that CPS is waiting on a case like that. Or you may have to take them to their grandmother, grandparents, or the next door neighbor or someone. And then that's kind of scary because nowadays you don't know who's doing what to your child, a young daughter, a teenage daughter, a young son. Because people's minds ain't wrapped too tight. And the church can turn a blind eye to this if they want to. You need to start having more youth programs. That's why I'm so glad I go to Lakewood, because we have a lot of youth activity. Churches, you need to start opening up your doors, especially on Sunday evenings, especially during the summertime. I know Vacation Bible School is 1 week. Some people do it 2 weeks. Some churches, they have all kinds of activities. But you need to start opening up your doors. It's okay to have adult service, but you need to have some young people service. You need to have some young people worship service so they can relate to somebody that's half, that's a little bit older than them, halfway. You know, if it's a 25, if it's some 12 or 13, 14-year-old, they need to see some 30-year-old person up there teaching and talking about some things that they've been through in their life. It's okay. I don't care. I'm a DJ. I love music. I don't mind DJing Christian hip hop and the Hillsong. I don't mind doing that. You got some churches that's considered that's not church music. Well, I'm trying to reach the young people. I'm trying to get to them hearts. I'm trying to lead their hearts to Christ. And by any means necessary, as long as it's in alignment with God, I'm going to do it. And if you're a pastor and you have a church and you're trying to figure out what to do for your young people on Sunday night, holler at your boy. I'll come set up the DJ equipment, set up the lights, and we'll have a good time on a Sunday evening with the young people. I'm open. Talk to me. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on YouTube. I'm a minister. I can DJ and deliver the message. Our young people should not be dealing with this. Our young people are getting involved in things that they shouldn't be getting into, and sometimes we can't make that choice for them, especially as a teenager. They decide they want to be disobedient. They want to do things on their own. I've been, I ain't been that far, but I've been disobedient. But I have to blame the parents. Where are you? Some of y'all are hanging out in the club. Some of y'all are doing things that you shouldn't be doing while your child is out on the street selling dope or selling their body. Some of y'all are not paying attention. I'm talking for the children, to the children. I'm talking to the parents. And I'm also giving some parents some good credit on if they are doing a good job. I'm not saying all parents. But we need to get this together. Why is our children having to suffer this burden? I see some of these young rappers, they're out there, they're trying to make it, they try not to be like their parents. And then what ended up happening, they get caught up into this game and they get these people around them that really don't care, they're leeches. And some of these young rappers like Katashi 6ix9ine, and we have the one that got killed, Triple X, Extition Triple X. I mean, I listen to some of their stories and I listen to their testimony about their life. Some of these young men and some of these young women that's in this hip hop and rap game have come from some tough struggles. And I'm applauding them on their talent. I'm applauding them on their marketing. I'm applauding them on their skills. I'm applauding them on what they're doing to make things survive. But then end up putting them in a situation to where I'm getting out. I'm making a lot of money, but I'm getting caught right back up into this thing because the thing that my mother and father got involved in, I got people around me that's bringing that same environment into my business. And some of these young people are hollering and crying through their messages, and a lot of people not hearing it because the record companies and the record producers don't care. As long as they making money. A lot of these young people are crying out. They popping pills, they smoking weed, they shooting up, they doing drugs, they having sex any and every kind of way with who knows, and some of them living some crazy lifestyles, and they just trying to find a way out. They in gangs, they part of drug dealing, they into a lot of activities that's going on that's negative. They trying to find a way out and end up with a void, and then next thing you hear, they committed suicide or got killed. Why were children having to carry this burden, parents? Why? Think about this message that I'm giving you. And then here is a child when it comes to Psalms 88, verses 1 through 5. O Lord, God who saved me, day and night I cry out before you. My prayer come before you. Turn your ear to my cry, dear Lord. For my soul is full of trouble and my life draws near the grave. Why is a child thinking like going near a grave? I am counted among those who go down to the pit. Why is a child thinking like this? I am like a man without strength. I am set apart with the dead. Why is a child thinking like this? Like the slain who lie in the grave, whom you remember no more, who are cut off from your care. Why is a child thinking like this at the age of 8 and 18? Why? I'm sorry. I'm getting emotional. And it hurts me to see children have to go through that. And I know sometimes the children, especially young adults, they make some bad choices, but who do I blame? I blame the parent for not being a parent. I blame the parents for not being parents. I blame the father for not being a father. I blame the mother for not being a mother. Quit being your children's friend and be their parents. And show them the way of God. If you do nothing else in life, show them the way of God. Show them God's word. Or send them to somebody that's godly and have godly wisdom to help them and counsel with them. I'll do it. Hit me up on Facebook. Here's my number, 832-477-7576. Email me at moorepeyton@yahoo.com, moorepeyton@yahoo.com. Hit me up. I'm tired of seeing young people lose their lives over BS. The morgue is full of young people, not old people. There was a video of a funeral home person that came on, and he was talking about this funeral home thing, and 90% of the people he can go out is young people under 25 that they're having to put to rest that's in the funeral home. These children in Chicago are suffering, and the media is not showing you that. These children in Detroit is suffering. Children in California is suffering. Children in New York is suffering. Children right here in Greenspoint, Sunnyside, South Park are suffering, and the mainstream media don't even show you that. Why are they suffering? Because of the parents. And sometimes by choices that they make. My wife have a testimony to tell you about how she had to do her son at a very young age due to the safety of her life. So sometimes parents have to make a decision. But for right now, I'm speaking to you parents that's you making decisions for your children. I just want to share this with you today, and I'm not through talking about our youth. If I got to be the last man standing to do that, I will. Because I want them to know that they're loved, they're wanted. And we know that there's a lot of things going on in schools, there's bullying and all that. Hey, parents, we got to be parents. If you want to fight the government, you go fight the government. Don't send your children out there to be fighting something that they may get killed in. And you're sending your child off on a trip and they may not return home, then you're going to feel guilty after that. If I want to send my child out to do something, when they turn 18, you go fight for your country. And I would feel much better because I know that you was fighting for something instead of fighting for things that we parents should be out fighting for, not your children. Your children are supposed to be in school to get their education. So in the future, they can help solve some of these problems as lawyers and in the political world. If they chose to do that, if they chose to become president of the United States, hey, go for it. I just want to deliver that message today to you. I love you, and I ask God to keep our children and help them and bless them. But our children should not have this type of depression on them. They shouldn't have these burdens on them. They shouldn't have these thoughts going through their head. It's time to wake up, parents. Y'all have a nice day. Minister Peyton Moore, 66 Books of Truth Ministries. Thank you.